vai tomar dormindo, vai tomar.
Hello guys, welcome back. Today we're doing another story time video. Not done one of these for a little while, but been suggested on email, my TikTok comments, and my Discord server. So we're gonna do one for you guys. How did the Solve Cube get out?
I don't know.
Alright, whatever. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about, as you see from the title, House Party from Hell. Right. How is there a fucking sulfur cube in the sea?
What?
You know what, I'm just going to let you deal with that. I need to get on with the video. I need to stop, like, doing these videos where I play and then I talk. I just need to, you know, like, fucking... Alright, anyway, so... This was at Oscar Has Bunda's gaff. It was at the Bund apartment, okay? Luckily, this wasn't at my house, so... I guess at the end of the day, it's not really my problem, but I'm still going to talk about it. This was, like, over a year ago. We were some young, speckled chaps throwing a house party. This is the first big house party we've ever thrown. I think 45 people were invited, so it wasn't... It was big, but it wasn't, like, Project X level, but it was a big party. And they were from a lot of people that, like, I knew from my old school before I moved in high school. There are a lot of people that I knew, so I obviously invited them all. And then a lot of people who showed up, we just didn't invite. They just were random people that I know for a fact we did not invite. So that was a bit annoying, because we had to deal with that. But we thought, oh, fucking, why not, okay? We're not going to be mardasses, they can show up. We shouldn't have done that. Alright, that's just like... If you're ever going to throw a house party, do not let people in that are not invited and you don't know who they are. Okay? Trust me, it's going to look like a nuke has gone off in your house. And I feel like you get where I'm getting at with this. So, for starters, the house party starts at like 6 PM, a little bit early, but you know... It's alright, it's not the end of the world. Everyone's drinking, having a good time. And then I remember a lot of them go like... I'm just walking past and I get dragged into a shot circle. I don't know if these exist outside of Oscar's house, but it's where like... they don't really happen anymore. But we just all go to the, like, into the circle around the kitchen island and do a shot, like, out of this like shitty Tsar Imperial bottle of vodka. There was a bunch of these, what is it, girls, and they go like, oh, Seth's doing shots with us! Yeah! So, and then they drag some other guy called Lucas in as well. So we all start doing shots, and instantly the white girls, they're all white, but one shot's enough. They never really drank before, so they're already drunk, which is not good. It's 6 PM and people are already drunk. And then, I remember, like, I bought some bottles of vodka for the party, and there was this one girl, I'm not gonna name her, but she's quite infamous at the Oscar at the Bund apartment, Oscar's house, and she had a bottle of vodka. She took one, like a whole bottle of Smirnoff, so a good, like, litre of this, and she put it in the, like, front of her skirt, like, you know, kangaroos have pouches for their babies. She had that, like a bottle of vodka in the front of her skirt, like a pouch. And she was drinking that all night. And the first thing that happens is, we're all sat up in the upstairs room, trying to hide from her, because she's already leathered, and she kicks through the door. I'm not full of shit here. She because we locked it, she mule kicks through the door and puts a hole in the bottom of it. This was Oscar's bedroom, by the way. The hole's been plastered, but you can still see where it is. And we're all shitting bricks, because we think, like, what is she gonna do? She just comes in and... There's, like, on Oscar's house, there's, like, you can go out the window onto the roof of the extension. And she goes out there and starts dancing and tries to hit the worm, I'm pretty sure. On that, so we all have to drag her back off the roof so she doesn't fall and, like, break her neck. And that's not even that bad. You're probably wondering, like, Seth, that's not bad. But we'll get onto the worst bits later. And now Oscar's not gonna like what I have to talk about next. So, I don't really care though, so we're gonna get into it. So, Oscar was really drunk. He had his own bottle of vodka, he drank the whole thing, he was sipping on it all night, and he was he does not remember a thing of this. I had to tell him what happened in the morning. And there was this really, how do I say it without being like mean? It's like big girl. She was very not a looker, so to speak. And she's trying to kiss everyone at the party. I was with one of my friends that I hadn't seen for a while, and she was like, "Can you two give me a hickey?" I'm like, "No, absolutely not." She asks Oscar. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. So they're going. I'm not going to get into details that much because I'm not gonna like give him too much shame for this. It's not like. Hopefully it's not a sworn secrecy thing. It's not that deep. But I remember she was calling across the house party, "Where's my man? Where's my man?" And I knew he was cooked. And that's not even the worst bit. We're getting on to the worst bit now, okay? It wasn't even the house party that was horrible. It was the end. So the house was fucking trashed. Someone had broken the plant pot, like all the plant pots. Someone stole a plant. We had it on video as well of him stealing the plant and leaving. I mean, fair enough, I guess, but yeah. And then we closed the window, not the window, sorry, the door. And the door was like one of them, if you live in England, you know what they are. They're like a door and they have like the big window in the front, in the middle of it. Alright, like a patio door almost. And we close the door and think, house party's done. We're good. House is trashed. Oscar's asleep, so I'm the only one awake. And me and my mate Bailey, we're the only ones left alive. And for starters, we're cleaning up, and we clean up everything, and Bailey just decides to projectile vomit everywhere. And like, he just vomits fucking as soon as we clean everything up. Just vomits over everything. I was just like, for fuck's sake. And then I think, okay, that's the worst thing that's gonna happen. And then some girl comes banging on the door going, "I've lost my vape, let me in, let me in." And I'm thinking like, no way, alright? I'm cleaning up all this sick, you're not coming in. I lock the door, I tell her to leave, and I think she goes away. She turns around and leaves, and then she doesn't think I've locked the door, so she sprints into the door, puts her hand and her head straight through the glass. Alright, like a film scene, straight through it, massive crash. She's bleeding everywhere, all over the floor. What is it? I get covered in glass from head to toe, and she comes in. I'm like, what the fuck? We like, this is his mum's house. Alright, and fucking, we think, oh, she didn't know this house party was happening, by the way. And we thought, oh, we can get this, she's not gonna know. Random drunk girl goes flying through the patio doors. I'm thinking like, oh, for fuck's sake. It's like, why? Genuinely, why? And, oh my god. And then she starts screaming, obviously, because her hand and her neck is... Luckily, she didn't break or cut or, like, do any serious damage. But, like, she could have really done some damage to herself there. So, her arm especially is fucked. It is completely red. It's gushing out blood everywhere. So we just grab her a towel to wrap it up with. And she seems happy enough. She's really drunk, so she's not really feeling that much pain. But, she then leaves, and I'm just thinking, like, what the hell? Alright, like, there's a massive hole in this patio door of where she's come through. And I'm just thinking, like, what the hell, man? How did she acquire the strength to run through it? All that to get a vape that wasn't even in the house. She dropped it on the walk, so that was all for nothing. She then tries to say it was my fault. because apparently I slammed the door on her, but I'd locked the door a good 5 seconds before she came sprinting through. And now I'm here picking glass out the back of my neck and my arms, because the whole back of, like, myself would have been covered in glass. Oh my god. And then she has to end up, this is like, the party's over, I decided to go to sleep. Well, no. Actually, no, we missed someone here. His mum comes home, and in somehow, shape or form, she's completely fine with it. And I'm just like, what? Are we in the same house here? Your door has just been smashed through. Fuck knows. Alright, anyway, so she ends up having to go to the hospital, and she's got to get stitches in her hand and down her arm, because she, lacerated through them. And she's still got the taxi home. She went the next morning, and her bed was covered in blood, apparently. I was fine, don't worry. Sasquatch Yacht was okay. But, yeah, to be honest, I genuinely don't understand to this day why she did it. But, whatever. In the end, no consequences came from it. She got banned, but we've decided to forgive her now, because it's been a while. But yeah, she got banned from the house for a bit. The house party still ended up happening, and the door didn't get fixed for a good, 3 months. There's just a big gaping hole in it. I remember the next house party, some girl cut her hand on it, and thought she cut her finger, and she thought she was going to die. And I was a bit weirded out, but, you're not going to die, you have a little cut on you. But still, people were cutting themselves on it, and they just never got it fixed. I don't know why, but fucking whatever. But still, it was just, in the end, it was meant to be a good house party. But it wasn't even that bad for me. I feel bad for Oscar. And he woke up in the morning, he had no idea what had happened, because he was passed out. Massive hole in his door. And, the girl he kissed on Snapchat messaging him, and he woke up with 3 hickeys on his neck. And we had to show the videos of him doing it. I felt so bad for the guy. I really hope he doesn't get mad at me for telling this. If this gets taken down, then, we know why, and I'll happily take it down. If he says, no, please delete this, because it's... I mean, it's not that embarrassing at the end of the day. At least he got some game. Most people go through it in their lives of doing it, but he does not remember a thing, for the record, and it was just, I feel really bad for him, and yet he still decided to do more, which obviously I'm not complaining about. I love a cheeky house party. But yeah, that's the end of this story time. If you have any more, cool stories about house parties you've done or you've been to, please make sure to drop them in the comments, because I do enjoy reading them. And thank you all so much for watching.